Okay, we are live. Just wait a minute, make sure it's on YouTube. Okay, I think that's it. Welcome to the Canto Online Hackathon. This is Judgment Day Season 4. I'm Robin. You may see me kicking around the Canto community. I'm a CMO at mkt.market, and I help out as a contributor. Let's just go into all of the judges here. I'm going to strike these slides from stage. Thank you guys so much for being here. We've got an all-star panel of DeFi native judges. I'm just going to throw out some names, and if you guys can give a brief intro. Let's start with Maria Paula.
Hello, very excited to be here for the second time. I'm Maria Paula. I'm the founder at JPEG, which is a curation protocol for NFTs. I've been in DeFi for quite a while, actually, probably since it started. Didn't lose money to FTX because I didn't do custody with centralized exchanges, and I also don't do staking on centralized servers. So doing pretty well here. Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing. Thanks for coming. Of course, you were one of the original judges at our Season 1 kickoff, so we're so happy to have you back. We have a new face here, Alicia. If you could give yourself a brief intro and let us know. Thanks for coming here.
Hi, my name is Alicia Katz. I'm head of marketing and communications at Euler, which some people pronounce Euler. It's a DeFi protocol on the Ethereum blockchain. And I also, if this is going to be our claim to fame, I also didn't lose money on a centralized exchange, and I'm a huge fan of self-custody.
Nice. I see a theme coming together for this round. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you. Joseph DeLong.
Hey, how's it going? I am CTO of a project called Astaria. We're launching in the near future NFT collateralized lending, formerly working at Sushi. And I don't actually have any money to lose on any exchanges, although I am a proponent of self-custody.
Awesome. We have Ross here from actually one of the winners of the last Canto Online Hackathon. Congrats on that.
Hey, thank you, and great to be back here again. Ross Campbell, co-founder of Collie, an on-chain governance and DAO incorporation platform, and also a contributor to LexDAO, an association of legal engineers working in the space. And yeah, great to be here.
If you haven't had a chance to check out Canto Collectives by Collie, that was the winner in the last Canto Hackathon, and it's just a great, great build. Fooder, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. It said founder down black global, but that's made up. I'm not the founder of anything. I just kind of make jokes on Twitter, and I'm happy to be here. Can't believe Scott suggested me, but I'll do my best.
Shit posting and jokes are maybe the most valid contribution to the space. So we're glad to have you. And then Jonathan Mann, welcome. This is great. I'm reconnecting with you after maybe 15 years.
Many years, yes. I was just saying that you are one of my best friends' sister. Which we knew each other way back when in California. I am Jonathan Mann. I write a song a day. I sold them all as NFTs last year, and I did not lose any money to any centralized exchanges, but I did lose a shit ton of money to the US government in the form of taxes. And I'm down bad only because of the US government treats crypto payments for NFTs as income, which I think is really dumb. But that's my story. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Yes, all down bad. I am in California, which is the downest baddest for taxes. So yeah, feel ya. Hey, Zach, welcome back.
Hey. I'm Zach Cole, CTO of Slingshot, your on-ramp to the Canto community. I find joy in helping others become sovereign individuals. Thank you for joining us. It's a beautiful day. Take it away, Robin.
It is a beautiful day. Let me jump in really quick to some details about the Canto Online Hackathon. We have these wonderful judges here with us. Andy couldn't join today, but is going to be judging remotely and watching all the videos asynchronously. Just a little recap. This is the 4th season we're wrapping up of the Canto Online Hackathon. This is a monthly hackathon for everyone, developers, designers, artists, growth hackers, communicators, NFT folks. If you're interested in building for Canto or building on Canto rather, just apply for an upcoming season at the co.build. Just a recap on prizes. The overall winner will receive 100,000 Canto. And then we have category winners receiving 40,000 Canto. Categories include ecosystem support and growth, NFT projects, DeFi protocols, new themes and weird themes, which we strongly encourage here on Canto. And then at the judge's discretion, they can actually give a share of 40,000 Canto rewards pool to any notable build. So it really is anyone's game today. Brief recap on judging criteria. We split it between originality, creativity, Canto-ishness, which is leveraging the free public infrastructure of Canto, as well as maybe contract secure revenue. If you haven't been following, we just published a blog about some upcoming governance proposals to basically enable CSR, which is an exciting mechanism for Canto. Expertise, user experience, and sustainability. We love it if you stick around in the ecosystem, and we encourage builders to give us a thoughtful plan about how they're going to continue with their projects. So without further ado, let's get started. The first builder is a returning builder. They actually won last season. This is the Butts on Canto team with Snapshot Buddy. Let's take it away.
Hi judges, I'm pleased to share with you Snapshot Buddy, a token holder snapshot tool for the Canto blockchain. From high in the Swiss Alps, the Butts on Canto team is pleased to deliver a new utility for the developers of Canto. It's no secret that new crypto projects benefit from integrating other communities via holder snapshots. It allows them to tap into the existing user base and network effects of those communities, but snapshots are hard. Sure, you can manually fuss with Explorer sites, but the process is slow and painful. You will hate it. Or on Canto, you can write your own slow, error-prone code to iterate through tokens on each contract, one by one. But this can take a long time, even if it works. Again, you will hate it. Canto deserves better. That's why we've built Snapshot Buddy. Snapshot Buddy is a nice snapshot tool for nice people. It's fast. It allows you to share your snapshots on the web for maximum transparency, letting your holders know what you snapshot and when. You can download holder addresses and counts in either CSV or JSON, and it works great on mobile. For context, here is an example of desktop and mobile snapshot results that are shareable online. We've already helped the Canto Bong gang aggregate holders across more than a dozen contracts and over 20,000 wallets. And we expect Snapshot Buddy to become a useful tool for the next wave of Canto projects. For more details, follow Butts on Canto on Twitter. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you, Snapshot Buddy, Butts on Canto. I'm definitely an owner. If you haven't checked out Butts on Canto, they're a great project. Not what you think in terms of the name. Any feedback? The builder is actually not live for questions, but they'll be watching this later.
Yeah, that sounds pretty handy. I'm wondering how it works under the hood. It's like a central server that you're pulling that data from. How's that data communicated with the user, and how can you trust kind of the origin of that data? That's one of the questions I have off the top of my head.
Yeah, and I guess I could add to that. A quick question would be, what kind of utilities do they see built on sort of the snapshot tool? So the most obvious to me is sort of pulling, token holders for governance proposals, but I'm curious what the team, might have in terms of feedback to that.
Awesome.
And so forth. Yeah.
We can definitely connect with the builder after the call wraps and we'll get some answers to those questions. I do know that they pushed a PR to the code repo, so we could take a little bit of a look at the code there. And then, yeah, as far as I know, it seems like one team, Cbonk, is used the Snapshot tool already. So we'll see how that helps. It sounds useful. Cool. So moving right along, I am going to go to our next team. We actually have them here to come on stage, but let's take a look at the video for Delegate Cash.
Hey everyone, I'm here with Delegate Cash, and we have built a public good project that is a free and feeless protocol that lets any wallet, any contract, or any NFT delegate message signing authority to any third-party wallet. On the back end, on every chain that we're deployed on, we have built a delegation registry that any developer can easily integrate into their own projects. We are committed to solving account abstraction, and delegations are the first steps towards realizing this idealized vision. The entire team consists of 3 people: OX Fubar, Rice Shrimp, and myself, Monamwasi. Delegate Cash specifically is a multi-chain solution, and we're excited to announce that we are now joining Canto, in addition to the other chains that we already are on, which are Ethereum, Polygon, Arbitrum, Phantom, Celo, Gnosis, Clayton, and Optimism. In layperson terms, if crypto's underlying premise is that it is programmable money, you can think of us as programmable power of attorney. Except, unlike a human lawyer who can still misbehave, Delegate Cash is an immutable and composable smart contract without the ability to transfer or touch assets themselves. Practically, this means that users can keep their valuable NFTs or other assets in cold storage, but still interact with third-party smart contracts to do things like claiming airdrops that they're qualified for, joining token-gated communities that they have access to, or sharing, their assets with their friends. While their assets are still secure in cold storage and haven't left there. That's because, again, Delegate Cash has no ability and no transfer function baked into it. Delegate Cash specifically launched on September 28th, so it's been less than 4 months, and we are already working with many of the leading blue chip NFT projects and infrastructure companies in the space, such as Bored Ape Yacht Club, Art Blocks, Forgotten Runes, Cyber Brokers, Punks Club, Invisible Friends, and Token Proof. Hand in hand with our launch, we also submitted EIP 5639 in order to make our delegation registry approach a standard across the entire EVM, because we want to make it easier for other people to build on top of what we're doing in an inclusive and an open manner. While Canto is a very exciting and burgeoning ecosystem, there have been several growing pains and hurdles that we had to overcome in order to deploy there. Firstly, we had to pass Canto Governance Proposal number 37 in order to enable pre-EIP 155 transactions on Canto. OX Fubar actually was the initial proposer of this governance proposal, and this allowed multi-chain functionality for major projects such as Delegate Cash itself, the Create 2 contracts, or OpenSea Seaport, amongst many others. This would give Canto the ability to compete easier with chains like Ethereum, Polygon, Avalanche, and Optimism, etc., which do not have these restrictions and still work great. This also helps Canto focus on user safeguards at the wallet level, which we can help with greatly without limiting impacts at the protocol layer. This increased ease of interoperability is critical to making Canto a more attractive target for more multi-chain deployments later on in the future. Next, we had to make sure that Create 2 itself would work in order to be able to deploy the Delegate Cash itself, which you can see has been deployed over here. This matches, all of the other addresses that we have for every other chain that we are deployed on in order to make development as easy as possible. Lastly, in addition to allowing us to deploy Delegate Cash itself, it also enabled the front end to work as intended. We're excited to see how the delegation tooling can power anything from NFTs to DAO to crypto games to DeFi and beyond. The best thing that any L1 and L2 can do to supercharge growth is to strongly encourage NFT projects and communities to establish themselves natively. Delegate Cash gives them the best-in-class tooling in order to do that with unparalleled network effects. That's why to date, in less than 4 months, we have already seen over $250 million worth of assets delegated, which is a little bit more than 2% of the entire current NFT market by value. We know that we can bring these same network effects to Canto. If you sort of look at some of these, like, do inquiry calls, and you look at the actual projects over here, you can see the exact numbers of assets held and how much these, start to add up. To conclude with, we are fully committed to this open and inclusive vision for the future. I think that delegations are a key part of it, and Canto is an ecosystem that we're very excited about, and we are very excited to see where that takes us in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have someone from the team here.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
I have a question. So this is cool, by the way. It's always challenging in a DAO or a project to have people be excited and constantly involved in governance and voting. How does this make people more excited or make it easier for them to get involved?
So there's actually a couple of things at play over here. Number one, if we look at sort of like institutional bag holders or people who tend to have a lot of assets in projects, a lot of times those assets will be held in cold storage. So we've talked with a lot of different projects where they'll say, I'll have sort of like one token in my wallet just so I can get into the Discord, but I keep the majority of my bulk holdings either behind a ledger or, again, if they're an institutional partner, like in some sort of custodial solution. Delegation tooling is a way to basically hack, if you will, the limitations of the friction that exists through of either using your ledger or using, some custodial solution, because you can delegate to a hot wallet that can go out and can vote. So your assets are still secure, but you have all the power and flexibility and the rights that those tokens are afforded to you.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah, this is an awesome project.
Lord help me, I use Delegate Cash to connect to and play. Sorry, Ross. To connect to and play the Yuga Labs video game thing. Please forgive me for doing that, everybody. And it worked great, and I love that idea. I keep my mutant ape in like in a hardware wallet, like protected with a hardware wallet, and I use Delegate Cash to be able to not have to fuss with everything. Love it. So it's cool to see it coming over to Canto. Love that.
Yeah, we were excited about that one for two reasons. Number one, obviously, Yuga Labs is one of the biggest names in the space, so a lot of people, pay attention to it. We sort of saw our internal metrics over the last week jump from about $140-ish million worth of delegations to $250-ish million of delegations. So it's been growing pretty exponentially. And also, we're pretty excited about it because I think it's a major UI UX improvement for crypto gaming. The annoying thing about crypto games is that your theoretical valuable assets always have to sit, dangerously in a hot wallet for you to play a game. And we've talked to lots of people, whether they're true gamers or they're like parents who say, I want to let my kid play my game, but I don't want to also give my kid control of, my MetaMask, which may have $10,000 or $20,000 in it, because my 5-year-old will probably do something stupid with it. And delegation tooling, again, is a way to get around that. We're already seeing with the sewer passes, there's a lot of people who say, I minted 20 of them and I used Delegate Cash so that I could just let like 20 buddies play the game without having to question, is my buddy going to steal this 7 ETH asset from me and transfer it to them directly. So I think there's some superpowers here. Account abstraction is the next narrative that we have all bet on very, very heavily, and we think delegations are step one to it. And so super excited to bring it to Canto because the same network effects that we're seeing, really heavily concentrated on ETH, there's no reason why those can't go on Canto, because community building and sort of NFT projects are the greatest way to grow any L1 or L2.
Cool. I just realized I could feature some of the questions coming in from the chat. So we have Sam's below.
Hi, Sam. Yeah, we take full advantage of vanity addresses. So one way to sort of keep deployments, safe for everyone is to use the same vanity address on every single chain. And it makes development like a hell of a lot easier when you know there's only one address you need to point to. And obviously lots of leading zeros, which is Fubar's sort of favorite thing for gas efficient calls.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining the hackathon, and it's live. Everyone go check out Delegate Cash on Canto. We're excited to have you.
Thanks everyone for being here.
Cool. Take care. So next up we have Canto Quest. I believe that we have 2 of the team members live to answer questions, and they're kind of in a later time zone, so let's kick off that presentation. Here's Canto Quest.
Hi, I'm Dustin from Canto Quest. We are building Canto Web3 Quest platform. So what is Canto Quest? Canto Quest is the Canto native quest and event platform specialized for projects building on Canto blockchain. Canto Quest provides no-code customizable template for projects to run off-chain quest, on-chain quest, Web3 event building community. Canto token will be used as the fuel of the system, and the payments will be carried out transparent using smart contract. We have 2 products. The first one is client web service. To use our web service, you need to connect your wallet in order to create your community and set up the quest. You need to deposit the payout in Canto token to reward questor. Also, you can eject the post campaign reports. The second product is mobile app for questor. On the quest will be pushed to the quest pool in mobile app. Questor need to connect their wallet in order to join the quest. Currently, we have released beta version for both client web service and mobile app. Here is our roadmap. In phase 1, we will focus on building the off-chain quest. In phase 2, we will design on-chain quest. And phase 3 is the quest hub with multi-quest and event templates and marketplace also. This is our product demo. From the web service, to run the campaign, click to create quest now. Firstly, you need to connect your wallet. Now, you can start creating your community by choosing community name and URL. For example, here, the community of Canto blockchain is created. To set up your campaign, click create quest. Now, fill in some information, set up the times. Next, choose the quest template. For example, here, I choose some Twitter quest like follow, like, retweet, start, and join Canto Discord server. Here, set up the total reward amount using Canto token. Set up number of winning questor, and you need to deposit the payout to the smart contract. After Canto token is deposited, click to create quest to successfully create your campaign. Next is the demo in mobile app of Canto Quest. After signing in, you need to connect your wallet. Sign the signature request in your MetaMask wallet. Now you can access to Quest Pool where there are many quest campaigns. For example, here you choose Canto Online Hackathon campaign request like this. Connect to your Twitter account and follow Canto Online Hackathon. Next, like and retweet about Season 4 of Canto Online Hackathon. Last one is join Canto Discord server. After completing on this quest, you are eligible to join the lucky draw. The lucky draw is carried out automatically. This means the system will randomly select 10 eligible questers to be the winner. Each winner will get 200 Canto tokens. You can also check the list of winner questers. If you are lucky, you will receive the notification and should check your wallet access. Our mission is to provide an effective marketing solution for every project building on Canto and build a strong, united community of Canto blockchain. That is the end of our video. Thanks for listening.
Nice. Welcome to the team from...
Yeah, hello guys.
Hey, Della and Dustin.
Yes,
I'm the founder of the Canto Quest, and I happy to hear today to about the yours and respond your question.
Yeah, I really like it. It's very interesting. It's like would be have like a lot of utility for these whitelist services, like to be able to unify them into a single interface. You need to do this to get onto our whitelist. Very, very rad.
Yeah, the user flow looked really like intuitive. How do you plan on monetizing and scaling this service?
Yes, basically, our idea come from the creator affiliate marketing campaign in the Web3 space. And about our service, we focus on the front end, the backend service, and about the security smart contract. And the backend service, we want to extend about maybe 1,100 users in Web3 space, and our project to transition Web2 user into Web3 users. One more information. Honestly, in Web3 space, we have some similar project like Canto Quest, and we have some advantage than current project like Crew 3, and if the just care about our project, I will send the full documentation about our project and have the detailed roadmap in our project.
Well, it's an excellent build. I actually often use a Web 2 version of this called Gleam, so I'm relieved to see this come about. It's very cool.
Yes. One of competitor is the Gleam in Web 2 space, because we investigate in the marketing in Web 3 space, Web 3 blockchain, but I cannot see any project like us, and we want to beat in the Gleam, and we want to focus on the Web3 users.
Awesome work. Thank you so much for building, and yeah, we're glad to have you.
Yes, thank you. Just take care. Happy to hear. Bye-bye.
Cool. I see, I'm happy to have a tool like that for Web Plus, which is the next iteration beyond Web 2. Yeah, the plus, Zach's got it. Cool, moving right along. I think that this next build is rather Web Plus. This is Leverage Finance.
Hello everyone, this is Leverage Finance. In this video, I will make a brief introduction to our project. First, what is Leverage Finance? Actually, we're building a lending protocol to maximize the future potentials of yield farming on Canto by allowing liquidity providers to use their Canto DEX LP tokens as collaterals. As shown here, the ultimate goal is to enable borrowers to leverage their LP tokens for enhanced yield farming. Most other DeFi lending protocols require 150% to 750% over collateralization to ensure repayment in case of liquidation, while we provide such service at 110% collateral rate. How can we make it? Different from the traditional model, when users borrow one token, the collateral rate is 150%, while borrowing the same value of two tokens will help users reach 110% collateral rate. Such technique encourages borrowers to borrow two tokens instead of one. With this model, users' funds are formed as a delta-neutral strategy. Look at these two curves. For the normal lending model with 200% collateral rate, when price fluctuation reaches 50%, borrowers will face the risk of insolvency. For our model with 110% collateral rate, the funds are even safer. This greatly increases capital utilization and allows users to leverage up to 10 times while taking the lowest risks. Besides, our lending pools on leverage are isolated. This means that lending for one LP token pair won't impact the stability of other LP token pairs. So why can we provide much higher yield for everyone? With extreme high farming APR in LPs, it seems that the yield lower than this does not attract users. Let's take an example. With leverage finance, Canto suppliers get higher APR of 350%, while note suppliers get APR of 50% in stablecoins. Current average borrow rate is around 200%, so Canto Note 5 times leverage APR ends up with 700%. Such appropriate grading enables user groups with different goals to get the best yields through leverage finance. As for our contracts, introduced mainly in two parts, the price oracle and the lending pools. The price oracle is a permissionless, free public infrastructure on Canto chain. It can be accessed by anyone, and it is using the fair LP pricing strategy to calculate the time-weighted average price. In an adverse scenario, an attacker needs to take control of the whole market for more than 20 minutes. For the lending pools, there are factories and deployed contracts for anyone to create a pool in a decentralized way. One pool consists of one collateral and two borrowables. They are both interest-earning assets and are all auto-compounded. As leverage farming faces high fluctuation in APR, fixed kink borrow rate model does not satisfy the market. Instead, we use a self-adapt kink borrow rate model in which the kink borrow point on the curve varies with the capital utilization slowly, up to 5% a day. This helps the borrow rate better fit the market.
Alright, this is the demo website of leverage finance, and you can see here we can connect wallets through MetaMask. Yes, see this wallet is connected, and let me choose Canto Atom pair. And first, let's supply some Canto here. Click the button and maybe supply 10 Canto, and then let's sign in MetaMask. And yeah, as you can see that the total supply has added for 10 Canto. And here you can deposit your Canto Atom LP, like deposit all of these, and click the button and do the signature. Yes, and then let's wait. Okay, after I deposit my LP here, we can then borrow some Canto, like borrow maybe 5 Canto. Sign in my MetaMask. Yes, as you can see here, I have borrowed 5 Canto here. And then we can say that if we borrow some Canto and atoms, then we deposit it back into this LP, we can just leverage it. And here we can choose the leverage time for you to adjust. So this is the demo work we have made for leverage finance.
Nice. We have William here from Leverage. Welcome.
Yeah, hello. This is William from Leverage Finance. I'm the co-founder of this, and another person is still working for our project, so he's not here today.
Yeah, hey William, that was a really great presentation. I have a couple questions. First being, how do you manage liquidations? Is that going to be offloaded to a keeper network?
Yes, we will have really. I think I will do much work on it. I have written a liquidation bot that is off-chain. But as you know, that there is no MEV on Canto, so that I think a liquidation bot is already enough for us. And as you can see, you mentioned this liquidation. So we are building free public infrastructures so that the protocol income will from like contract secure revenue, which will be live maybe a few days later. Yeah, and also from these liquidation bots. Yeah, just from these parts. So that we hope that we can be part of the free public service on Canto chain.
How do I run one of those bots? Is it do you have it linked somewhere, or like is it available on GitHub?
Oh, we will have a front website for it that you can check that anyone can check if, and we will show all the possible liquidation opportunities. Yeah, and everyone can see it. And we will have a bot that is running backward, and it will just check and keep an eye on all the things, make sure that the assets are liquidated properly. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have like an API? I mean, because from what you just explained, it sounds like I'm going to have to manually go to the site, look for liquidations, and then execute those liquidations manually. Is there a way that I can easily automate that on my own? Like, is there an API available,
Yeah.
or do I have to build out my own solution?
Yes, it is automated, but I mean, there will be a website showing all the liquidations and showing them, just the showing, and all the works are done backwards and automated. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, William, this is so great. I just have a question. So we need, to also judge the future viability of the project. So what are your future plans after the hackathon? How are you going to fund the project? Are you going to get the funding out of like the treasury, or, what are the fees?
Yeah, thank you. And first, I think we're just building some pools, and the only thing that we need is in like some fund to provide initial liquidity. So we're joining this hackathon so that all the Canto, like if we were the overall winner, we can get 100 kilo Canto, so that we will all use these Canto to provide the initial liquidity for the borrowers, for the LP farmers, for the EU farmers, for them to borrow these. And yeah, we do want to provide these prizes for them, and let's make it better. Yeah.
That's great. And what happens after you provide the liquidity? Like, who's paying you after that? Because like
Yeah,
this is a lot of work that you have done, so you deserve to be paid.
Yes, as you can see that recently that Canto Public has passed an issue about like the APR of providing Canto some token like Canto Notes, Canto Atom, Canto ETH. These tokens, these LP rewards are decreasing, as you can see. And so we're making this leverage finance to help the users. There are really great Canto farmers, like Canto LP farmers. They want high yields and they want to provide liquidity for Canto, so that they will use our project, use these initial liquidities, and they will use it for leverage farming and deposit back. So it's like it's kind of a flywheel. But yeah, as you can see that if they're doing this, they will get a higher APR. And also for those Canto holders, like if I think Canto will go to 5 nodes one day, maybe tomorrow, yeah, and then I will provide Canto liquidity so that I can earn APR in Canto. Then that is a good thing, I think, for some really like for me, I will provide much Canto liquidity for it. Yeah, I'm really I will hope Canto. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very cool build, William. So glad to have leverage finance here on Canto.
Yeah, thank you, Robbie.
Cool. All right, we'll move along to the next project. That one was really awesome. Here's another. This is Canto Crowd.
Hello everyone, we are the team behind Canto Crowd, a decentralized crowdfunding application established on the Canto blockchain that brings all public goods ideas to life. We decided to build this application because we've identified some rooms for improvement in the Web3 industry. First of all, when developers dedicate their time to creating open source projects, their efforts are not properly rewarded. Even though they could crowdfund their projects on some platforms, the raised funds are in cryptocurrency, which price is quite volatile. And also, the crowdfunding systems might not be truly democratic and inclusive. That's why we created Canto Crowd as a first step to help users around the world to make their impactful projects into reality. It is where open source developers, dreamers, and builders harness the power of communities and together make small ideas into revolutionary projects that can benefit the world. Canto Crowd is built on the Canto blockchain, and it implements quadratic funding model to ensure a more democratic, community-based, and mathematically optimal system to crowdfund public goods. Users will have to use the Note token to support the projects that they like, which will also create a much more stable revenue for the project owners. The application will be supported by the Canto Crowd DAO to facilitate governance and guarantee decentralization. To join the DAO, members have to deposit their Note tokens in exchange for Canto Crowd governance tokens, which will be used to build a match fund and the DAO treasury. The Canto Crowd DAO will keep 5% of the allocated funds to cover expenses and continue optimizing the platform. And more importantly, Canto Crowd aims to encourage FPI project development and nourish the healthy ecosystem of the Canto blockchain. Now, we will do a small demo of Canto Crowd to show you how it works.
Cool. We have Efrain here from Canto Crowd.
Hi everyone, this is
Hi.
Efrain from Canto.
Hi, Efrain.
Hello,
Can you hear me?
Efrain from Canto Crowd. Yes, I can hear you.
This is a very cool project. Really like it. Lots of parallelisms, of course, with Gitcoin. So, this is a tool that we all love. So I'm very excited. My question is actually based on a comment that I saw on Twitter the other day, and that I thought it was excellent. It was a critique for Gitcoin, and I'm hoping that like future iterations or like evolutions of similar protocols are taking it in mind. So basically, the OP was mentioning that there's a lot of projects on Gitcoin that are like just well-known VC-funded projects, and that at the time of like taking a snapshot for like future airdrops, they were only counting for like the post seed round or whatever stage of the project, but they weren't counting for the very early stages, the people that trusted in these teams. One that comes to mind is actually Dune Analytics, that you're probably aware of. Let me know if I'm being too fast or something. So basically the thing was like there is, and this has also happened with Gitcoin, there are ways for the community to actually like moderate the projects that come or not, that doesn't take a protocol from being permissionless. So I'm wondering if you guys have anything in mind to not prevent projects from being shitty with their early funders, but at least knowing, like, teaching a community how to filter those projects that might have a very good business future?
Okay. Really, for the reason the Canto Crowd platform was built in mind from some DAO behind the governance, the Canto Crowd platform. For the reason the DAO really will take important decisions for the future in the Canto Crowd platform. And all these all these features will be decided for the same community using the Canto Crowd platform. And for the filter about the projects, really this idea is in very early stage. But just I started working this idea 10 days ago. Just it's very basic implementation right now, but in the future is important thing in solve some challenges like to example civil attacks and collusion, and I think that the more important is scalability in the platform too. Really right now the project is in very early stage. And just really, I'm looking for more depths for contribute to the project and continue improving more the idea and the project.
Totally get it. It's still it's very cool, even if it's early. Do you plan to take a fee to fund operations?
Yeah, really. The fee is more inside for the DAO operation is the 5%, and this is for continue growing the application and continue maybe planning give some bounties for the DAO members inside the contributing to any way for the Canto Crowd growing. And this is some features in the planning for the future, really.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah, the project looks awesome. I had a quick question. I was wondering, would this be sort of a continuous sort of crowdfund for Canto DAO itself? Would it be a sort of like limited edition, or how do you see that unfolding as people sort of explore the project over the time? Let me know if that made sense. Yeah, is it basically a continuous sale or auction of the DAO tokens, or how do you see sort of the DAO membership going over time?
Yeah. Really. Right now, the initial is use the node token for voting governance inside the DAO. But really, in the future, I think still checking about what regarding native token for the DAO, Canto Crowd token example to reward the DAO members in any way. But another option is example NFT inside the DAO, for example prevent some civil attack or for voting option. Yeah, this is some cool features. Really right now, I previous this demo, I was checking different options for the DAO management. This option is Kali DAO is one option. I was checking.
I don't want to swing anyway.
Yeah, really check Aragon, check Snapshot. Really Snapshot, I use Snapshot, but really giving some options for the quadratic voting. And inside the Snapshot is possible use different strategies like to NFT civil attack prevent and another integrations inside the Snapshot. But really right now I am open to check another options and continue the development for the project and give some really cool stuff inside the Canto blockchain.
That's awesome. And I think the simplicity of starting with Node is great. I was just curious if you had sort of plans in the future to incentivize people to join beyond sort of being sort of like a Moloch DAO sort of OG grants use case. So looks great. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Efren. Awesome build.
Okay.
Oops. Yeah, well, another exciting project. I'm glad that they were able to join. Let's move along. We're getting a little pressed for time. And I just want to share that my neighbor, sharing a wall with my apartment, just started practicing the clarinet. So they must have heard that Canto is also a jazz chain.
Yeah, at least it's not drums.
Oh yeah, there you go. I did see in the chat that somebody thought that this was like a really nice positive space as opposed to the slingshot troll box. So I feel that love here. Let's move along. This is NFT Global Entry.
Hey everyone, I'm Sammy Bao. I'm the founder of Xerox Essential. We offer dev tools and services for NFT interoperability. Today I'm going to tell you about one of our solutions called NFT Global Entry. This lets developers write contracts that depend on NFT ownership from other chains without bridging those tokens. So for the hackathon, I deployed our infrastructure to Canto mainnet and also built a governance contract that is based on owning a certain NFT from Ethereum mainnet. So I'm a member of this community def, recently launched this website and NFTs, so I didn't build this whole website, just to be very clear. I did add this proposals section, right? So these are some proposals just we've been testing, reading live from Canto mainnet, right? I'm connected to Ethereum. So what we can do is create a proposal. We'll call it Do It Live, and I'm going to go ahead and submit this. So Global Entry uses meta transactions right now. This is probably the area we want to improve the most. It's this big, scary signature. We'll talk a little bit more about this. The important thing to see here is that we're specifying the NFT that we want to use in this transaction. So I'm going to go ahead and sign that. We're performing this dance right now that's providing an ownership proof of that NFT from our Oracle. You can see that the transaction's been submitted. It's already been confirmed. That's great. It takes a minute to come back, right? So I'll talk a little bit about how this is working. Before the transaction is submitted, we do a little pre-flight, and we generate an error that tells the submitter where they can fetch a proof for whether the caller owns that NFT or not. So that goes and looks up the proof generation on an API we provide, and gets the proof and then submits the final transaction. Our forwarding contract then sort of verifies that proof and says, yes, this is owned by the caller, and passes that in call data onto the implementation contract, right? The governance contract itself, where the developer can access the NFT through a function we provide, message NFT. If you're familiar with meta transactions, similar to message sender. So great. So that came through on our RPC, and so we've now gone to the voting section. I'm not a great designer, but I'm pretty proud of this. So I'm going to vote for doing it live. So let me talk a little bit about what we're going to do here to improve this, right? So first of all, if you notice the authorizer field, Global Entry supports account abstraction or delegation. So we're integrated with Delegate Cash on other networks. Once that launches on Canto, we will be able to sign these not from my primary, but from a hot wallet that doesn't have assets, but I'll still be able to vote knowing that this address owns this NFT, right? The second thing we're doing is that'll actually also support burner wallets, so you won't ever see this pop up. And we'll sort of sign that in the browser just with keys that are in the browser. And finally, we're also working on removing meta transactions and allowing this just to be a direct transaction on Canto. So you would need then to switch network, but you're still gating based on the token from Ethereum. So we'll go ahead and let that through. Again, I think you can trust that that is going to go through and work. definitely check out our README. You know, we put together a really nice write-up about how all this works, and you know, link to our SDKs and to the relayer we deployed and all that sort of stuff. And lastly, you know, I'll say, I'll do a little bit of shilling. We're launching an NFT project called Rasslers. We're using it to dog food all this tooling. If you think that this global entry stuff is cool and want to see us do more work like this, please support Rasslers, rasslers.xyz. I'm Sammy Bao on Twitter. You can find me there. I'd love to meet more developers that want to try building experiences like this, where we token gate based on NFTs from other chains without bridging. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Awesome. Welcome, Sammy.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here.
I love that design.
I didn't design it. That was somebody else. I forked an open source app. So shout out Sam King from the DevDAO.
There you go.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I just had a quick question. Like, how are the proofs constructed?
Yeah, so I mean, it's very simple, right? We're just running like a Node.js like RPC API that then calls the chain right through a node provider to look up who currently owns that requested NFT and sort of signs that data, right?
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you, when you were doing the transactions and signing and whatnot, and it was waiting and it took a long time, is there a simple solution to make that UX a little better so it doesn't seem like things are lost, you're not refreshing or feeling scared?
Yeah, that might be something that other people can answer. You know, I imagine that what's causing that delay is just like the polling of the RPC. Or just the RPC's, you know, freshness itself. You know, this is my first project on Canto, so like I just kind of copy pasted the RPC URL from the docs and sort of went with it. You know, I guess like maybe that's sort of part of my experience in this hackathon was like, you know, a lot of the tooling that I use doesn't have, you know, native or off the shelf support for Canto, and so even like our, you know, we use WAGME in our front end, and I had to add Canto as a custom network there. And so maybe I'm like not doing that properly, or should be using WebSockets or something instead of polling the RPC. But that wasn't something I had time to address during the hackathon.
Cool, thank you.
Sure.
Cool. Well, excellent build, Sammy.
Thank you.
Happy you're able to hop on.
Yeah.
And looking forward. I gotta check out those Rasslers.
Yeah, thanks. And I'll say, you know, I mentioned the Delegate Cash stuff in the video. While Delegate Cash was presenting, I went and did the transaction to start integrating them on Canto now, right? So cool timing that they also were here, and so that's a really nice thing for us to be able to integrate and really into like composability and leveraging things like that. So really nice experience, and thanks for having me, and good luck to everybody.
Thank you. Cool. Okay, coming up next, we've got Black Sail Finance. Let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to Black Sail Finance. I'm excited to share the project with you all. A little bit about what the team has been cooking up the last few weeks for the hackathon project on Canto, as well as the vision for the future for sustainability and growth. So essentially, Black Sail Finance is a smart contract, yield auto compounding suite, and yield aggregator. What I mean by this is that users can stake their LP tokens or liquidity pool tokens that they earn from various dexes and exchanges, deposit them in Black Sail's smart contract vaults for auto compounding and exponential growth on the rewards. So the smart contract runs an auto compound harvest feature, which claims the rewards from the dexes, automatically converts them into additional LP, and restakes them into the vault on your behalf for that exponential growth versus linear growth that's experienced on the exchanges themselves. Because the manual process for converting those rewards is timely and an annoying process, and then the smart contract can actually run those events and fire them every minute, or theoretically every few seconds with the speed of Canto blockchain, which really amplifies your rewards. So that's why the APY shown here is so much higher than the APR shown on the actual native DEX. So how we came up with the project is we've become tired with the high fees charged by other DeFi protocols, and that have become standard across the DeFi landscape. So Blacksail charges a flat 3.5% fee on all of the vaults, and that fee is delegated towards boosted pools in the treasury. So by the boosted pools, the community will be able to vote on which vaults or liquidity they want to attract to Canto. Since we do plan on going multi-chain, we can attract additional liquidity back to Canto through the boosted rewards. And we can also run promotions with various exchanges that would like to become listed on Blacksail by allocating a percentage of the boosted pool to that platform. So for the demo here, I want to share a feature that we're really excited about, the multi-zap feature. So users can actually select multiple vaults that they would like to deposit into via a cart system. So I would like to deposit Canto into these two vaults at a 50-50 delegation. So right now I have an even distribution selected, but you can actually manually set that yourself. So let's go ahead and deposit 0.1 Canto into Canto Atom and Canto Eth from Canto Dex. And this is just a prototype. We're going to have like a notification window of the different transactions that are being processed in the actual order that they're being processed with different weights and things like that. So just an additional visual helper. But as you can see, the deposited vaults are populating, right? And we have exactly half of the Canto in each of these deposited vaults. So up here is the actual LPs that you have deposited into the vault after the zap. And then down here is the dollar denomination of your value that you have deposited into the vault. So if you click on withdraw, you can go ahead and withdraw from the vault as well. And you can harvest the vault manually, although it's not required since the smart contract is running that in the background, but it's nice to have in case users would like to manually harvest the vault. Some other things that we're planning on adding in the future are the snapshot graph over time. So users can have a snapshot of the APY yield over time so they can see the trend of the rewards, and they'll be able to compare those against other vaults via a filter tab here. So they can compare Canto Atom versus Canto Atom via another DEX or another exchange on Canto as they're listed. So that's super cool. And then also we're adding a merge feature, so users will be able to transition from vault to vault, so they can migrate from Canto Eth to Canto Atom or vice versa, or whatever vault that they choose in the future. And we're really excited to see what the Canto development community brings to the table in the future. We're excited for new exchanges to partner up with, new vaults to be listed. We hope to have a complete collection of the Canto exchange on Blacksail. We also plan to add in a yield aggregator, so instead of selecting the different tokens and converting them manually from other sources, like other exchanges, we'll route all that through in one seamless transaction so a user can swap between different tokens within the app with the best liquidity route. Since we also are tracking all the Oracle prices in-house, we built our own in-house Oracle. Another plan would be to bring that data publicly facing via an API that other platforms can use to build off of Blacksail. I touched on the multi-chain. We do plan on going multi-chain and bringing back that liquidity to Canto via bridging and attracting that liquidity through our boosted pools as they become available. And that's all I have for you today. Please connect with us via our socials. We have a Twitter, Discord account where you can reach us, and we'll share more of that in the future.
Cool. So we have Blacksail, Elm here from Blacksail team.
I am the lead developer for Blacksail, or the lead UI developer.
Welcome. Excellent build. Any feedback from the judges here?
You guys built your own oracle. How's it different than something like Chainlink or some other oracles?
Right now, we're just pulling from CoinGecko right now, but we plan on just doing, can't remember what it's called. I believe it's a swap between, like on a Uniswap, we call the contract, we see what we get out of it, and then that's the price. We compare it to the Ethereum price or the Canto price, and we can figure out the price of any token that way. That's what we have for now, but we're planning on expanding the API to add more stuff.
So if you're dependent on the CoinGecko price feed, do you have any contingency in the event that that price feed is unreachable?
Yeah, well, so the default will be CoinGecko, but if we can't pull anything from there, or if the token's not supported or not added to CoinGecko yet, like I said, we're going to do like a appraisal swap, I think it's called, and then we're going to see what we're going to get out from a swap. So let's say we'll take Canto and then try to swap it to something else, and then it will give us what we're going to get out, and that's kind of what we can base the price off of. So long
Nice.
as we have the price of one of the assets, we could figure it out.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Well, we love to see more DeFi contributions here on Canto. So yeah, welcome. Happy you were able to build.
Thanks.
Cool. We are a little bit over halfway. I think we have about 4 or 5 projects left. We'll try to speed through. They're not so long. Let's move into Canto Proof of Tweet.
Hi, Canto Bot is a Twitter bot that allows Twitter users to screenshot tweets, mint them as NFT, and store it on the blockchain as a proof that a tweet existed. Yep. So if you want to use a Canto Bot, you can easily do that by basically just sending a command. So let's take this as an example. Okay. And just type in Canto Bot mint. And it should mint the tweet in under 10-15 seconds. Yeah, so just wait for a bit. Yeah, so it has minted it, and you can see it here. So if we click on this, it will take you to the Explorer on the mainnet, and you have the NFT minted. So you get the IPFS link for it, and basically this is how Canto Bot works. Hopefully down the line, the plan is to create an Explorer for it where it stores create an Explorer where you can see a list of tweets being minted, who minted what, and on what date, and you can easily search up using Twitter username. Yep, and if you're asking about road to profitability, that would be the fact that for you to be able to mint, you would need to probably credit the bot with some Canto tokens, and it will allow you to then use that to mint. So this is how Canto Bot works.
All right, we got Flarkos here from Canto Pot.
Hi guys.
Flarkos.
Hi.
Hi. Good job. What use cases are you thinking of for POT?
Yep. So when I built out a POT, it was basically because like a lot of people keep deleting tweets that had a lot of significance online. So like for an example, I come from a country where politicians tend to tweet out things that they promise, and down the line they will delete it. So this is a way for people to hold them accountable. And like let us take an example from the FTX thing where SBF kept deleting tweets. So if something like this was online at that time, like it could keep all of those tweets as a proof of tweet online. And what that does is, if it is needed in court, it can be provided since it is stored on IPFS and you can't really edit it, or since it is kind of immutable. And so like you can't just take a typical screenshot to court. It won't stand, but something like this should be able to stand, basically.
Fantastic. So maybe you can sell it to some news outlets, or help some vigilante journalism, like
Something like that.
citizens journalism. That's would be your use case. Like just who you can sell it to as well.
Yeah, that's cool. There's a few bots, like there's the crypto deleted that feeds deleted tweets over to Telegram. Like that's a nice fit. The other thing I was thinking of is there's all this news that inactive accounts are going to be deleted, and that kind of wipes out a part of history in a way. So an example is like Hal Finney's wife is now tweeting from his account, so it'll stay active, and that part of Bitcoin history won't be lost to Elon Musk. So yeah, this is a cool use case. I think marketing and communications will be really important so people can understand the value of it.
Cool.
Great build, Flacos.
Sorry, I just respond to a tweet and tag CantoPot. Well, let's figure it out.
I think that's what the demo showed.
Yeah, I remember seeing the interaction that you showed in the demo. I thought you were a bot. I almost blocked you.
Well, we're going to try it out. I love the main use case, which is holding Fooder accountable. Very cool. Thank you so much, Flarkos.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, let's move along. The next project is Frostbridge. Let's check it out.
We are behind the project Frostbridge, which is an NFT bridge that enable for the movement of assets of ERC-721 or NFTs from Ethereum to Canto or vice versa. But in the future development, we will include other chains too. So it's very simple. So we click on the network that we want to retrieve the asset. So retrieve asset, and then it will output all the NFTs that is available in the wallet. And then we click select the NFT to transfer. So I'm selecting Beatles token ID 3, and then transfer to Canto, and then transfer. Then we will approve the I. Basically what happens here is the NFT will be transferred to the bridge and will be locked. Now that the transfer has been completed to the Canto, that's all. And the remaining NFTs available is the Beatles #1. All right, thank you, Canto.
Thank you. Very cool project. We could already see some interesting use cases and token gating and channels and access. Dolphin, welcome.
Hello, guys. I'm Dolphin from Frostbridge, basically an NFT bridge. Yep, glad to be here.
Any feedback or questions from the judges? Very cool. I think it's pretty straightforward. Everybody could see how this would be useful.
Yep, it's very straightforward project. It's just an NFT bridging assets from other chains to Canto and vice versa. So yeah.
So I can transfer an NFT from any other network to Canto?
Yes.
By what mechanism does that function?
So the mechanism is basically simple. So because it is an EVM supported EVM smart contract. So the mechanism is, let's say you have an NFT in Ethereum, you want to transfer it to Canto. The NFTs will be locked in the smart contract, in the bridge contract, and then a copy of that NFT with the same metadata will be minted at the destination blockchain, and then it will be transferred to your wallet.
Did you have the contracts been audited?
No, not yet.
Okay. How can I find you on like Twitter or something like that?
Hold on. My Twitter. This is how do I send this? This is my Twitter. Code Dolphin 2.
Cool. We could share it in the chat and make sure it gets to Zach.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. We'll take a look. Thanks, Dolphin.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Coming up next, we have a team that's been with Canto, I think, from the beginning. This is from the Canto Inu team. This is bringing some DeFi summer vibes. Motor Chef.
Hi, today I'm going to take you on a walkthrough through the new CNU Motor Chef. As you can probably figure out from the site, it's very much based off of the styling that brought us DeFi Summer of 2020. And in this case, Sushi Chef. I can't pronounce that for some odd reason. But what we did is very Canto native, very different, and not just another master chef. We took out all the parts that dealt with specifically minting a token, because that makes token number go down, which everybody hates. And we put in specifically the C tokens from Canto. So these are the native tokens in the Canto lending market. We rebuilt the smart contract so that it can pull any of the rewards accrued by those tokens, essentially allowing us to move these around. This is very novel, and this is something that's only really possible on Canto. So let's get started and walk through this. As you can see, we show up on the site, and you can see some basic information about your portfolio. When we move into our farms, we can see just one farm right now, Canto's best friend. You deposit the CNU W Canto through the native DEX. This is accessible through LeetSwap. I won't go through that today, but if you're interested, you can check out cantoinu.com and pool it. It looks very much like anything you've seen before, Uniswap, SushiSwap, something like that. We're going to go ahead and select that. As you can see, the APYs are very, very low right now. I'm just putting a test amount so we can do this. We go through and we select our farm. This shows up very much as you've seen. If you remember DeFi Summer, you can approve the token. So this is the LP token, as I said, in the native DEX, which is accessible through LeetSwap or directly through the contract. We're going to go through our normal thing. As you can see some of our styling, we've tried to add some dog themes to this thing, which is very interesting, we think. Once you've approved that, everything's grand, everything's golden. It takes a few seconds to come through, but after that, we can see our transaction, we can see everything that might be interesting about this on side of it. As you can see, this transaction has happened. We'll run back to our website. And boom, okay, now we can add to it. This is great. We have one LP token in here already. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add that in here. Again, it's going to do some MetaMask stuff. Canto's going ahead and confirming. This is all glorious. I'm going to go ahead and refresh that so that it picks it up. And there we go. So now we're staking and we're earning W Canto. Some things about this website. As you can see, it's very much based off the styling of SushiSwap from 2020. Rebuilt everything using Rainbow Kit and the WAGMI portfolio. Everything is built in Nex. So this is a complete rewrite of the site. It is not the MasterChef contract from Legacy, though it does look a whole lot like it. Hopefully you found this very interesting. We hope to get this thing out in full working mode here by the time you watch this video on Sunday. So hopefully lots of people will be staking. As you can see, we put in all kinds of warnings, so hopefully we don't lose all their money. That's all we wanted to show there with actually adding money into it. Of course, we also need to be able to harvest our rewards. So we're going to go through and do that little workflow very quickly here. As you can see, comes out with MasterChef. So we do our deposit with 0 in it. Boom, boom, boom. This does a little harvesting. It goes through Canto. We have to wait because this thing's actually live. Oh, boom, our transaction is done. You can see that it's live. Once again, we're going to click here. For those of you looking at it, you can see that I've actually sent this from another wallet because I didn't want to wait that long to do everything. Everything's good to go. And now we're back to 0. So very cool. If you're used to MasterChef, SushiSwap, all that great stuff, a lot of this will be very familiar with the big added twist that this is something only really possible on. I was going to finish that sentence with only possible in Canto, but I finished the video too soon. As you can tell, in classic hackathon style, I didn't sleep enough before I did the video.
Yeah, so you say it's like only possible on Canto. What exactly, can you just describe a little bit more about why that's only possible on Canto?
Yeah, so we're giving out actually the native tokens, Canto in this case. Obviously, Ethereum, you can't really do the same. We could use compound C tokens and give out comp, but that's kind of not quite the same.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. So you can give out the base token.
Yeah, because we just shoved it's a C note, C Canto note token, which gives out rep Canto. And obviously you're just the one step removed.
Yeah, okay. Wow, that's really cool. That makes a lot of sense. How long did it take to build?
The smart contracts, not very long. I'm really shit with front ends, so that took much longer than I'm willing to admit.
Well, it looks great, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Thank you. I was trying to revive 2020 vibes because we like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time in our lives. We all made money.
Yeah, so we're going to do it again with Canto. And that's why we're here with dog tokens. So we're going to make it 2020/2022.
Well, depends on what era you got into crypto, because in my mind, dog tokens originated on Reddit back in like 2013 or something, when they were just used as like a tipping system. But yeah,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Cool. I had a quick question. I was just looking at your contract. Appreciate the flat file. I'm a fellow flat file maxi here.
Hey, Rob.
But yeah, I was curious about your choice of the compound contract structure. Could you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so inside of Canto,
awesome.
there's a native lending market. So they do liquidity mining, and that uses C tokens. So that was actually not my own choice. That was a choice made by Canto. And I'm just using that native token and using that as the motor to create the rewards for this.
Awesome. Yeah, very cool.
So I think I know where you're going. It is not efficient at all on the gas side.
But very, very intense. Great job.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Colin.
Thank you.
Okay, we got 3 left. Thank you, judges, for hanging in. I know it's an hour and a half so far, so we're a little over time, but I appreciate it. Next up, looks like I have to load this in manually. We've got a team called Sanka.
Hi, my name is Colin, and I'm a developer on the Sanka project. I'd love to walk you through our submission for the Canto Hackathon. So this is Sanka, a fully Web3 native credit score. I'm going to go through the problem, the solution, and the problems we seek to solve, why Canto, the team, and possible next steps for Sanka. First of all, the problem, we all know that there is an issue with limited capital efficiency due to a lack of DeFi risk assessment, meaning that it is impossible to offer loans in a decentralized way that are under collateralized. Second, elevated borrowing costs for extending credit on chain creates a limitation of the current Web3 credit rating system. So issues with the current attempts at scoring addresses on chain, first of all, is going to be transparency. Models are hosted off chain on Web2 infrastructure, but they're kept as proprietary. Second, explainability. These are complex machine learning models that are difficult to explain, hard to understand, and even tougher to iterate upon. Also, readability. So data pipelines are dependent on privately hosted infrastructure. Really want, ideally, a truly DeFi native credit score to be a public good that's accessible to all at any time by nature of the protocol. We're working on a solution called Sanka. It's a Web3 native public good. It's fully transparent. It's easy to interpret. There are going to be no Web2 dependencies, and it is also community driven. The Sanka uses the principles of Bayesian inference to calculate a score. So for an example, if we use Canto's liquidity market, we could assume that a user's score would either improve or worsen over time the more and more they use the protocol. If we gather all these events, these credit events, we could find a beta distribution and use them to model a Bernoulli random variable, which has like a 0 to 1 outcome. From that distribution, we could expect value of probability of like default or liquidation. So how likely a user is to pay or repay or default or be liquidated. And from that probability, we can apply a curve over time and translate that to a Sanka score. So just a quick deep dive on the beta distribution. Alpha represents a good metric and beta represents a bad credit metric. So as alpha increases relative to beta, the credit quality of the borrower improves. So we've created a whole bunch of increment functions discussed more in the white paper to determine how to migrate and score credit behavior over time based on these different on-chain events from different protocols. Once you have this alpha and beta distribution, you can put together a score. So the score is just simply a probability of default and liquidation. And we translate it into a Sanka score, with 0 being 0% chance of being a good borrower and 100 being 100% chance of being a good borrower and repaying. So we use an optimistic attestation model for this. As we know, computing all these values on chain would be incredibly expensive. So we use a model similar to optimistic bridging, which basically allows users to self-attest to their own credit score. Here we'd have 2 smart contracts that run on chain. The first would be the Sanka controller contract, which would store an IPFS hash of the latest scoring model script. That would be determined by DAO votes or something like that. It'd be a fair way to have the community drive updates to score given a certain protocol like Aave or Maker. So the first step, the user would generate their own score given a few different protocols and via the latest scoring model script on their own local machine. Then they would attest to their own score on the Sanka score contract, sending tokens as a honesty escrow. So a user's score would be stored with a certain checksum ID, and this would emit an on-chain event. This on-chain event, score, and checksum could be run by all the credit sentinels in a network to ensure that a self-attestation was valid. In other words, they just run the code and check the work because there could be a reward. And then step 4, both sentinels and users have a 4-hour or 2-hour cure window to report fraud. Find any fraudulent attestations, they would receive the honesty escrow. Otherwise, that honesty escrow gets returned to the user and their score is considered safe to use across the ecosystem. So the 3 use cases that we can think of here specifically are lending. So you could do under collateralized lending. You could have some sort of on-chain trust metric. You could also start to leverage these things into a reputation score. So why Canto? There might be a good value alignment here between Sanka and Canto, specifically given their mission to provide public DeFi infrastructure. We also think that Canto is a pretty efficient network of collateralized liquidity. And in a nod to public goods, which the 3 of us are a fan of, we like the mission statement of ecosystem over extraction and user over profits. This is the team. We've got Saki, our brew chemist, our quant and mathematician who put together the Bayes inference and alpha beta distribution models. Colin Nielsen, artisan barista. I'm the dev on the project working on the optimistic credit model. Dev on the project working on the optimistic credit attestation model. Then we have Daniel Ritchie, being procurement, who handles all things BD, marketing, and communications. So our next steps for Sanka is we're going to solicit some feedback, and we'd love to hear what you have to say. We really plan on using this Canto hackathon as a sounding board for this idea. Second is we're going to make a go, no-go technical decision on whether or not this thing can be really implemented in the real world. Second, we're going to make a go, no-go decision on technical implementation feasibility. 3, we're going to explore more of the Canto ecosystem. And hopefully by that time we can lift stealth mode and just start building. Thanks for watching our presentation for the Canto Hackathon. We hope that you like it and we can't wait to hear your feedback.
Cool. We have Daniel from the Sanka team here.
Hello, Canto fam.
Welcome. Excellent project.
Thanks. We're excited to be putting this together. It's something we've been working on here, at least thinking about for quite a while.
Hi, I just wanted to congratulate you for the great presentation and putting like absolutely all the time in explaining every point that was in the judging criteria, because that makes it very easy for us. But also, you know, you seem to have thought of everything. So looking forward to see if you build this.
Yeah, it was really great to see a roadmap there at the end. Really good job.
Yeah, sorry, I may
Awesome.
have missed. But how exactly do you plan on like monetizing in the future?
Well, right now we're hoping to put this together as a public good. So we're going to be going after grants, potentially retroactive public goods funding rounds. And you know, the expectation at this point is not that there's a lot of money here, but we do think it can serve as kind of a foundational offering that can be leveraged in a lot of different ways. So we're hoping that anyone who sees value in this will see value in getting it off the ground.
Yeah, and don't forget about CSR.
For those that are watching that are new to CSR, contract secured revenue, I did drop a link in the chat to the latest blog from Canto Public. You can kind of review and see how it's going to open up the doors for developers in the Canto ecosystem.
Amazing.
Cool. Well, Daniel, thank you. And thank you to your team for building and submitting in the co. I think this one's going to be interesting to watch. I see the chat asking questions about competitors, what differentiates you from others. Looks very cool. Okay, so we have the final two. Let me queue up PinSave, the decentralized Pinterest.
Okay, I'm really sorry for the dog barking, but we have to make a submission. So we are PinSave, and we are presenting the decentralized Pinterest for the Canto Blockchain Hackathon. So our team, it consists of me, a full stack developer, and my teammate Grigor. We've worked for the past year on multiple projects and won prizes from Filecoin, Algorand, Ceramic, and other sponsors. And we're very PinSave is a decentralized image, video, and content aggregation platform where users can not only control the contents, but the platform itself. So we outlined the problem of monolithic web applications, which retain ownership of user content and essentially block users from interacting with their created contents on other applications. And we're trying to combat this with a solution which has 4 key features, such as decentralized feed, which reinforces the discovery of content and feedback, decentralized identity, ERC 725 standards, which provides anonymity and data protection, and upgradable resilience and more decentralized storage, such as IPFS, ARV, Skynet, and finally, smart contracts, which securely serve web experiences directly to users. So here's our demo. So we can load posts with React Infinite Query, interact with these posts. We can, for example, interact with this video. This is the title, this is a post. Here we can write a message and react to already existing ones. This one is the first centralized post on Canto. And here we got actually a post from one of our Twitter subscribers. It's a bit explicit, but we'll take it, I guess. Yeah. So this tab upload is where we can actually upload a post. We don't have enough counts at the moment to upload more posts, but we can demonstrate how this could work. Here we enter the title, here we enter the description of it, of the post, and here we can actually choose an image. And we can also choose a provider, which consists of NFT storage, NFT port, Airview, estuary, and we can actually upload a couple of the posts, which is a distinctive feature from other chains in our application. Yeah, and then you essentially press this button to upload posts. But as you can see, we currently don't have enough Canto, and we'll probably upload this post a bit later when we have enough. Yeah, so here is the profile tab, where we can edit our profile, our decentralized profile. So this is the name, this is the description or bio. Here we can actually see the list of our followers and the number of people we're actually following. Yeah, and here we can also upload a profile picture and the cover. And here we can actually, yeah, you can see how it connects between, how the details connect between one another. So you can connect with us on LinkedIn and on Twitter. Here is actually a post from our subscribers.
Cool. Welcome, Pavel.
Yeah, hello. Yes.
Finally, a place for me to pin all those based memes I want to keep track of. Any feedback or questions from the judges here?
Do you have any plans on like monetizing, or how do you anticipate scaling in the future?
To be honest, I think there are like multiple options, but like the option of transaction. I'm not really sure how to phrase it correctly, but the fact that we can actually capture a part of the transaction fee, I think it's pretty significant for the application. But the potential for the monetization of the project is something along the lines of increasing the fee for posts, or capturing a percentage. If the post will actually like sell, for example, we can capture a portion of that. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Cool. Well, I definitely already saw some Cantofonians using the product, so we'll keep up with your Twitter and we'll try it out. Thanks so much for building.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. We are at the finale presentation. Just gonna cue it up here. This is another entry from Canto Edu. It is the greatest meme competition. Here we go.
Hi, me again. Second submission, this time for Canto Inu, for our meme contest. And this one we'd like to enter into all things weird, but more importantly, the ecosystem. Why? Well, very simply because Canto Inu awareness equals Canto awareness. Thank you very much, Robin, for that idea. Really simple idea here. We want more memes on Canto. Why? Well, having California is great. Having dogs is great, but just having more memes is great. And we didn't want to be a stupid, like, normal meme contest. So we decided, hey, let's enter this one into the hackathon to help boost ecosystem awareness. And hey, we decided that if we win anything, as you can see here, we'll give it to the creator 100% in its full. But hey, there's a catch. Well, two catches really. You, the judges, need to select of our shortlisted number, the top one, and you also need to pick the submission to win anything. Otherwise, well, they get the fun of winning, but nothing. So without further ado, you can see my shortlisted 5. We had roughly 30 different entries submitted from a variety of different people. I did the very hard job of narrowing it down and pulling out the loads of crap beyond that 30 that I would not even think about showing you. It was awful. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm gonna need a minute. Okay, coming back around, the good ones. This first one is from the famous Quincredible, and there's no particular order of these 5 I put in, but it was the first one that came up, and of course, as you can see, very classy art made by AI. Sinu, free public mimetics, hits on FPI. We love this one. Second one from, I'm going to pronounce this one incorrectly so you don't accuse me of saying something bad, Fukin Clown 69. And this one, of course, we do love dogs. We do love the Matrix. And I did think it was kind of cool. I like how the colors play. I don't know. What do you think? Third one, what Canto meme would be incomplete if we didn't mention our favorite friends over there with the necks. And of course, mixed with dogs. This one was just cute. I don't know. It's a neck dog. I called it a neck dog. Then our good friend Harshad brought in this very harsh, futuristic hellscape of a Matrix with a very cute looking dog and, you know, some Matrix people in the background. Look, it's cute. Okay? I think it's a good meme. And then, of course, the jazz chain needs the jazz meme and a dog. So, of course, we had to take this one from Ella Spectator, which I've entitled Jazz. It's the jazz chain. I don't know why it says he's Nito, but, you know, AI memes never seem to really produce the correct text. But anyway, that's not here or there. That's not important at all. What is important right now, you, the judges, can select from one of these 5, and I'll show you them again quickly. Quinn, Fukin Clown, No Tanek, Harshad, or Ella Spectator. If you select one of these 5 and this project, the person that created this meme will get whatever award you decide to give this project, which could be 40,000 Canto. That would be really nice of you. And it would definitely help to propagate Canto, which is really, really important. And the reason for this category, also, this is kind of weird, so you need to accept that. Now, there's one that I did have to put in here, which is outside of these 5, as you will quickly understand, produced by our good friend Robin. But according to the same timeline, we just thought this one was quite cool. So on that note, I leave you, the judges, to do the judging and the selecting this entry. And we thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. I want to go on the record that sometimes I say something in Telegram chats and the good community lets them snowball into madness. So appreciate that, Colin.
You instantly regretted this one, I know.
Quinn was just a favorite.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Quinn.
I love the jazz dogs.
They're pretty cute.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm also highly biased because I think Colin is a great guy. So
It's rigged. All right,
I do have to say that I will run this again next month if you guys don't select us this month.
yeah, no, I think it's a really cool idea and a way to kind of scale your participation in the hackathon.
It was fun. There were a lot, you know, like the meme contest farmers that were out, and I did have to comb through thousands of those to get the good ones. So nice. I was happy with what we ended up with.
I have to say I'm very excited to see a proper implementation of my favorite subreddit, our meme economy. So I'm very impressed by that.
Yeah, the memes of production.
Yeah, and that was my first time prompting with Midjourney, so it's always fun. Love it. Cool. Well, thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
Substantial contribution for the ecosystem growth and awareness. and maybe all things weird. We'll let the judges decide where it fits in the hackathon categories.
Yeah. By the way, Robin, I already sent you my scorecard. How about that?
Oh,
Yeah.
this is going to be the best season yet.
I just sent you mine.
I'm about to send you mine.
I always send mine at like,
easier.
I always send mine after Robin asks me for it 5 times.
It's just an excuse to chat. I love it. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that is it. We made it through all the presentations. We had 13 excellent projects submitted to the hackathon. I want to thank all of the judges here for taking the time to watch and review and score and hype up the Canto community. We're going to keep doing this every month, so hope to see you back in the future. From here, I'm going to collect these scorecards from any outstanding judges, and some will be watching asynchronously after we air. And then in the coming days, I believe usually about 48 hours, we'll announce the winners. So congrats to all the builders. Thank you so much. Excellent co.
Thank you. See
Thank
y'all
you
next
so much.
Go.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. See ya. Till next time.